Good morning. I'm Tom Callos. This is the morning meeting every Monday morning of the 100. Every Monday I sit at my desk as if we all worked in the same school and we all came in my office, and it was my chance to talk to our many instructors and all the people who work to make our organization strong and meaningful. Not just strong, but meaningful. That's the important part. I have some lessons I've learned very recently I'm going to share with you. You're supposed to use this video with your staff so that you can teach a lesson supported by the work I'm doing. You can either point to the work I'm doing and say, now this is exactly how not to do it, or you can say, hey, now listen to this, and let me tell you why it's important to us. You're supposed to use the materials here to your benefit, and not just for you, but for the people in your sphere of influence. My son, Keenan, is in Maryland training with a fight team that he had to apply to, both in essay and to show his martial arts experience on video. It's Lloyd Irvin's team. Lloyd is a pretty dynamic martial arts teacher who runs a heck of a team, the fight team. I think they're one of the most winningest teams. So anyway, Keenan's life is jiu-jitsu. Go figure. And he's down there. Well, Keenan thinks he's really good, and he is really good. He's probably going to win the Worlds this year. But he thought he was training hard until he hit the Irving team, and then he learned what intensity was. He went from training, 2 or 3 hours a day, kind of haphazardly, but consistently, and getting good results, to training 6 hours a day with a level of intensity that he's never visited in his whole life. And what that reminds me of course, is what's happening with you and I. If you don't associate with people who are really defining push, then you start to think, hey, look, among the people around me, I'm doing as good or better than anyone else. And you you fool yourself into thinking, hey, you're really pushing yourself hard. Look, nobody around you is working any harder until you get with a championship team. And then you realize the effort you've been making isn't 1/100th of what you're capable of and what you need to apply to win. And I think that's a lesson for all of us, because we start hanging around with ourselves and our team and, the people in our immediate sphere of influence, and you start thinking, hey, I'm doing it here. I'm really rocking and rolling. And the truth is that when you get around people who are really doing the stuff, you're not doing 1/100th of what you could or should. You think you are because you have nothing to compare yourself to. And I would challenge you, and I remind myself that this is the truth, because I saw it when I was a member of Master Reyes's West Coast demo team. We pushed harder than anybody else we know. And I remember one time in particular when a team came from South America during the World Games and trained with us at the Campbell School, Ernie Reyes West Coast. And their intensity was about 2, 3, 4 notches above ours, and our team immediately picked up on it, and training was never the same. I mean, we were already more intense than most everybody, and this team came up, and for some reason, they were training just a little bit more intensely, and it dramatically affected the quality of our own thinking. And I would hope that that's what happens here at the 100. You do have enough time. In fact, Keenan, who thought he was training as hard as he could, found out he could train 10 times harder. And you know what that's going to give him, right? It's going to give him an edge. And I love it because Lloyd's doing some things that he's never done before. Not in all his years of jiu-jitsu experience. And he's been training since he was on and off since he was 4 years old, when we were here training with BJ when he first got his start. And intense stuff, stare downs, where they're working on the psychological end, and they're doing all the cardio and strength training, and they have this attitude that they go into their training with that marks them different, and it makes them a little bit crazy, but not to win the Worlds, not to win and be the most winningest team. It makes them winners, and you and I can be the same way. So I hope you get that lesson. Let's remember that that's why we're here in the 100. And don't lull yourself into thinking that you're even close to meeting your potential or training as hard. You can eat better, you can think better, you can produce better, you can lead better, and you can push yourself harder. And the only reason you're not is because the people around you have lulled you into thinking that you're already maxed out. You're not.